From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Louis Butko.
Yes, it is Ticats Day for a Thursday, September the 29th, 2022. Thanks for checking us out on the Ticats Audio Network. Really do appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe and like so you never miss an episode of this show or any of the other great shows here for you on the Ticats Audio Network, including a brand new episode of Moriarty and Hitch that will be dropping this Friday. They'll be joined by a very special guest, so you're not going to want to miss that one. It is the bye week. A couple more days left before the Ticats return home ahead of next week's October 7th game against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And as you know already, that game, the Wall of Honor induction ceremony game, as Danny McManus will be celebrated for all his achievements in the black and gold. And before that, there'll be a Wall of Honor induction, and that's happening at Carmen's, and it's also a celebration of the 50th reunion of the 1972 Grey Cup champions. And in case you missed it, caught up with Tony Gabriel earlier this week, and you can catch that conversation on the Ticats Audio Network, wherever you found this show. It is the bye week, but there's lots going on at Tim Hortons Field, including this week, the first on-the-field flag football was back over 2 days. Hundreds of students from Hamilton school boards, both Hamilton school boards, were at Tim Hortons Field. That was Tuesday and Wednesday, and then today, it was the first, the 2022 version of the Be Fit Day. It's the return of the Be Fit Day, presented by First Ontario Credit Union. Students visited once again. There were fitness stations at Tim Hortons Field, including a football skills station, a soccer skills station, dance and cheer, food and nutrition, lots of fun stuff. And we'll get into that with Courtney Stephen. He'll join us tomorrow to recap everything that went down this week at Tim Hortons Field. And tonight, we're not done because there is still a bunch going on. Tonight, touchdowns and tastings is back. Yes, it's a ladies' night at Tim Hortons Field. It's tonight at 6:45. It includes cocktail reception and wine tasting in class and on-field football instruction, Ticats locker room tour, and gift bag, and 2 tickets to an upcoming home game, all for just $95 per person. And for more, very pleased now to be joined by the fantastic woman who's hosting it. You know her as the in-game host at Tim Hortons Field. She's also a lifestyle and fashion expert and so much more. She's Natalie Sexton. And Natalie, this is, I've been told, one of your favorite nights of the year.
Oh my gosh, it is. We had so much fun in the summer. So we do this event now. We do it twice every season. And I've been hosting it now for, quite a few seasons. And it is so much fun. Like, I almost feel like, how is this? This is just, it's not work for me. This is just it's a good time, seriously. And the cool thing too is that you see a lot of familiar faces. So people keep coming back to it, which is always a good sign. And then there's always more joiners every time. So that's also a good sign. People, the news is getting out there. I'm telling you, it's amazing start to finish.
I was wondering how many repeat come, because it is a tasting. It is like the food's good, the wine's great from Peller Family Reserve. You get those instructions, and what I realized last year is how much the players love this. I mean, this is something, whether it's the alumni, whether it's the current players, they love this stuff.
You know what? And this is the cool thing about it, is that, okay, it's all the great things. So we're drinking wine. So we have let me tell you about the wine too, because we've got some amazing wines happening from our friends at Peller. So we have a Charmat, which is like a bubbly wine. I'm learning a little bit more too. And I'm always learning every time because we have their experts there and they kind of take us through, each tasting paired with the right food. And then we have a Cab Merlot, which is always fantastic. And then we're doing a Chardonnay. And the cool thing about this one, Louis, is that it's actually on tap. So we're going to break the stigma of, can we really drink wine on tap, and what is happening here? So it'll actually be my first time trying wine on tap too. And I'm not afraid. I'm up for the task. So we've got the wine, we've got incredible food, shopping, which is always a great option for me as well. And then, like you said, the players. So co-hosting with me is Andy Fantuz, who co-hosted it in the summer, and he's fantastic. And then Mike Daly is joining us this time as well. So the guys do an awesome trivia game with all the ladies. kind of give us some, behind the scenes scoop as well. They get a locker room tour, which is incredible. And then we have some players there. I'm going to tell you all the players that are going to be there, because then I can like practice my pronunciation is perfect.
Yeah.
So we have Michael Domagala. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did. Yep.
I did. I knew I did.
There you go. I know you. You know your stuff. You don't need me to confirm this.
And then we have Gordon White. We have Don Jackson, who's so much fun. I'll tell you a little bit about. I did a little interview with Don a couple of weeks ago too. We have Julian Hauser. We have Jovan Santos Knox. We have Dylan Wynn, and then the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Simone Lawrence.
You didn't even have to say the name. As soon as you said the one and only, I knew where you were going with that one.
And they're so much fun. Like, it's just such a fun, engaging event. I just get so much positive feedback from everybody every single time. And I mean, I feel like I said, like I'm kind of part of it, like I'm having just as much fun. It's not work.
Well, the same can be said about your in-stadium hosting duties, which we'll get to a bit more. You mentioned your interview with Don Jackson, because you actually have a new series that our talented video content staff is working on behind the scenes. But you went out in the community, Sexton in the city. I love it. What kind of trouble did you guys get up to?
You know what? This is so much fun. Like, this is something I feel like I've been manifesting. I've always wanted to do something like this in chatting with players, chatting about Hamilton, because this is my hometown, born and raised. I've always lived here, but to sort of see their side of things here, like where are their favorite places to eat, where are their favorite places to shop, or what are they looking to find, what neighborhoods do they love, and just kind of finding out all about them and not really talking football, which I think is kind of fun too, right? It's like behind the curtain, really fun stuff. So we went to James Street North, and we also went down to Bayfront Park. So we went on a couple little adventures. And so I was with Don Jackson, is one of the fellows who I got to chat with, and he's just so cool. I mean, he's also a very accomplished musician. You guys will find out a lot more about him in our chat. And then Keandre Smith, and we obviously talked about his front flip that he did with his first CFL touchdown. The other, I think that was our last home game, which was just incredible. So we talked about that. And then Tyler Turnowski, hometown Hamilton guy who is just so cool and chill. And I found out like where his first job was in Hamilton. We walked by that restaurant. So lots of inside scoop. It's going to be fun. I'm excited.
That's such a great variety of players, right? You got Don Jackson, who's from the States. You got Keandre, who played in Guelph. And then, I mean, Tyler's such a proud guy. And I guess to the Don Jackson point, it is nice to see these guys embrace the community. I mean, you didn't have to think about, I got to think of a place I got to go. No, he knew where he wanted to show off in the city.
Exactly. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was more about kind of like narrowing it down because, everybody had so many kind of great spots in mind. So yeah, we had a lot of fun, and we were sporting our Baffin boots as well. So Baffin has partnered with us on this one. So you're going to see some cool fashion too. Like this all goes hand in hand.
Oh, speaking of fashion, great segue. You've done this before, haven't you? The Ticats shop. You were in there. I heard a rumor that you were in there picking out some of your favorite pieces for the fall look. And I guess we're getting into winter now too.
I know.
What caught your eye at the shop there?
Well, I was very excited because there's a lot of new gear in there for the ladies, and there's a lot of unisex stuff as well. And to be quite honest, I have even bought some of the kids' pieces for myself that I fit in. So I'm not gonna lie, there's like something for everybody in there for sure. But there's some really cool winter coats. There's a reversible vest too, so it's kind of like a faux fur on the inside or on the outside, and then it's got the Ticats emblem no matter how you wear it. There was really, really cute women's t-shirts, lots of long sleeves. There's more made in the hammer gear, toques, hats, like kind of something for everybody. There's these also really fun, and I may have bought one of them. They're these big gold, like faux gold, obviously, but
Mhm.
chains that either have a big
Yes.
tiger, right? Have you seen some of the fans sporting these on game day? Like they're
Yeah.
just cool. They're such a fun idea. I love that in that shop there really is something for everybody. I did get a couple of new mugs as well. I just
Mhm.
moved into my new home a couple of months ago, so I was like, oh, I need some home decor as well,
Yeah.
obviously. So you can be like outfitted in your home, and of course on game day or just whenever. I love our stuff because it really is. It's made so well. It's beautiful quality. Like I have pieces that I've had for, my gosh, I would say
Hmm.
10 years at least, and they just the ones that like kind of stay nostalgic to you as well.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
was
when
I was just
something,
about to
right?
say the nostalgic part of it, because I mean those starter jackets, those
Oh,
3/4 zips. I mean, we've
yes.
seen that I think the kids call it thrifting. That's such. I mean, for kids, for people my age, 20 to
Yes.
30, it's
Yes.
it's amazing, and I credit Max of the Arkells who's always rocking some sort of retro look.
Yeah, you're right.
It is really cool how that retro 90s look is coming back in for both men and women.
Oh, I think it's awesome. And
Hmm.
that's one thing that I do love is when you see people kind of putting their own spin on something like the Hamilton Tiger Cats,
Yeah.
like to me, fashion and football, I kind of love that they go hand in hand for me. I've always, and game day to me too is part of that. Like I sported gold cowboy boots the last game. Like I'm just,
Yeah.
I am fully committed to making a fashion statement down on that field.
Fashion and football, it goes together like tastings and touchdowns,
Yes.
doesn't it?
Yes, it certainly does. It absolutely does. And I know we already have quite a big group of people coming in. I believe there's still a few spots available, but I'm
Mhm.
not even
I
100%
can
sure
tell
on
I
that
can tell
anymore.
you right now that there are. Yes, I'm on the website. I'm
Okay.
looking at it right now. And the one thing we didn't even mention, $95 gets you tonight, which is worth
Yes.
it because you get the bag, you get a gift bag, you
Gift
get the
bag.
wine, you get the tour, you get everything. But it also comes with
Yes.
2 tickets to an upcoming game. So you can either be at the game next week or the one later on in October, which again is, I mean, what a deal.
Right.
What a
I
deal.
know. I know this is the thing, like a fun night out, like you said, food, drinks, gift bag. Our gift bags are always really great too. I mean, it's worth it just for the gift bag.
Yeah,
And then
right.
you get to meet, like, you get to meet all of these players, amazing alumni, and then just that behind the scenes thing I think is so cool. Like really checking out the locker room that's an experience in itself,
Yeah.
and then also like, hey, for anybody like me, when you're looking for some content for the gram, you are going to get some great photos tonight as well.
And I guess the one thing it comes back to is just how fun it is, right? I mean,
Oh, oh yeah.
there's no shame, like there's no, hey, nobody's gonna laugh at you if you throw the ball
No,
wrong or something. It's all about having
no,
fun, and what a great
you're
group of
right.
guys you have to do it with the players. Natalie, I want to talk about you now,
Oh, okay.
because I just love your energy on game days, and it's so easy to see how fans, how you get the best out of fans when you get them on. How did you get into this? I mean, you're obviously a natural. You obviously have great
Oh,
fashion sense. You're a lifestyle expert extraordinaire. But was this something you always wanted to do?
it's funny. I would say as a kid, I was really, really shy.
Hmm.
Like public speaking was, oh my gosh, like losing sleep over that, type of thing. So as a kid, no way did I ever think this. I always loved the sort of the being behind the scenes, but I loved that world of like fashion and beauty and television. And so I actually was a makeup artist for quite a few years for CHCH, which you are very familiar with.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So you know what, I was the makeup artist for the morning show. So up at like, gosh, now
Oh,
when I
I
think about it,
know.
3:30. You know how it
Yes.
is,
Yes.
right?
I'm
Yeah,
aware. I'm aware of the
you
time you
know,
got to wake up. Yeah.
the grind for
Yeah.
sure. A fun grind, but it
Yes.
certainly is
Yes.
it certainly is a different kind of schedule. So yeah, I was the makeup artist for the morning show, and I at that time there was Kate Carnegie there, and she was
Mm.
doing weekend news, and she had said, would you I'd love to have you on to talk about fall trends. I was blogging at the time as well, when blogs were like a big thing. And I thought, oh my gosh, like me talking on camera. And I just thought, I can't. And she said, yeah, you can. Let's just try it. And she really encouraged me. She's one of the first people to really kind of, open that door for me, which I always am so grateful for. And then, all of a sudden I've got this Sexton in the City segment every Saturday on CHCH, which was so cool. And then it just kind of kept growing from there. And I kept going from there. The Marilyn Dennis show reached out, all of these different opportunities kind of became available, and I just kept rolling with it. So when the Ticats reached out, that was, honestly, I was really nervous. I was already doing TV, and I was obviously a huge Ticat fan. I had my front row season seats. And I thought, oh my gosh, look, can I do this? Like, it's a very different thing to be in front of, 20,000 people in a stadium than on a TV set. So I would say I was terrified initially, but the fans were so kind right away that it just clicked. And here I am, that was, 2017. And, how about five seasons later doing that? And I mean, this is very much the Cole's notes of the
for
journey,
sure.
But it's sort of like that, you just keep it. Nothing happens overnight. There's no overnight success. There's sort of like overnight little wins, and then that's how you just, and setbacks too, because there's lots of things that, that the door was shut on me for, but it just made sense because it opened up another door. So, and really what you get what you put into it also. I really love all the facets of all the fun things that I get to do. Very grateful for it.
Speaking of one of those fun things, a couple of things you brought up there, Marilyn Dennis, the segments that you do, and fun things, Ticats. Let's put this together because it was a few weeks ago that you were on the big video board, and you and the Marilyn Dennis show announced that you were giving two sisters a makeover. Two Ticats. So what's the latest on this? What can you tell us?
This is so cool. And this was one of those moments where kind of like everything comes together. It just just the coolest opportunity. So with the Marilyn Dennis show, we do one show a year called Mega Makeover Show. And it's like our biggest show of the year. And this season we made over 13 people in 1 hour, which is pretty wild. So my segment, we are opening and closing the show, and that will air in October. But two sisters that both work every game day for the Ticats, Mia and Julia Satino, lovely sisters. Mia nominated her sister Julia, and we literally surprised her during a live hit, on the field. And so it was wild. So we had like our cameras there, of course, and then CTV there as well. And then we filmed the whole thing now in studio just the other day. So it all came together. I don't want to really give too much away, but we get to really also highlight Hamilton and the Tiger Cats in the whole segment. And that's going to be seen across Canada. So I just feel so proud too that I get to kind of show two of my biggest passions, on a platform like that. It's pretty special.
Very, very special indeed. Just like this chat and just like the time you gave me today. Very special. Natalie, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it. I miss our pregame chats. I'm not part of the pregame show anymore, but I know
I miss you.
I thank you. I appreciate you saying that. And I appreciate you doing this, Natalie. Have so much fun tonight. I can't wait to see the pictures.
Will. Absolutely. Yes. Check it out on Instagram.
Awesome. Thanks, Natalie.
Okay. Bye. Thank you.
And my thanks to Natalie Sexton for joining me today ahead of tonight's touchdowns and tastings. And if you're listening to this, maybe you can still make it there at 6:45 on Thursday. Ticats.ca is where you can get the details. I appreciate you joining me today, just like I appreciate Natalie stopping by. And make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode of this show or any of the other great shows on the Ticats Audio Network. Ticats fans, it's time to ride on our strength. From now until October 13th, purchase 4 eligible Hercules passenger or light truck tires to receive a $100 Ticats rewards card and be entered to win our road trip sweepstakes, available at participating Active Green and Ross Ontario locations, or visit HerculesTires.com/AGR rewards. We're back tomorrow to wrap up the week here on the Ticats Audio Network. From all of us here, I'm Louis Butko, hoping you have a great day.
Ticats Today can be heard every weekday, and we would like to hear from you. Email us at gameday@ticats.ca. Have a question or an opinion? We want to hear it. That's gameday@ticats.ca. Subscribe to the Ticats Audio Network on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.